It is Friday, May 8th, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. A little bit of racing to talk about today on the show that happened last night, plus a couple of news items. We'll preview the weekend's action and then get you ready for tonight's World of Outlaws race. First up, Senoia Raceway in Georgia was in action last night. They had a 5,000 to win super late model show that also included crate late models on the ticket. It didn't take long once the program got rolling for things to get heated. Michael Page leading, coming to the white flag in the dash. Shane Clanton threw a slider at him into turns 1 and 2. He briefly grabbed the lead. Page then drove back underneath him down the backstretch and made his own move into 3 and 4. Clanton on the high side, Page on the low side. Page drifted up off the corner to shut the door on Clanton. The two made a little bit of contact. Page goes on to win. Clanton finishes second. Following the win, the two kind of came together at the scales. Clanton obviously upset about the move that was made. Looks like cooler heads did prevail, though. It didn't really escalate beyond that, and I saw on Dirt on Dirt that the two actually spoke after the race. So hopefully things all good there now between Michael Page and Shane Clanton. In the feature, it was Michael Page leading all 40 laps en route to the win. Clanton, who started second, started to make the battle for the lead interesting with about 15 laps ago. Track was super slick. Lap carved down on McIntosh. He forced Page up to the high side into turn 1. That allowed Clanton to get a run underneath. Two were side by side for the lead, coming to 14 to go when a caution was thrown. That handed the lead back to Page because of the way the scoring works. He then survived 2 late race restarts to drive away to win over Clanton. Kyle Bronson was 3rd, Brandon Overton was 4th, and Dalton Cook was 5th. In the night's other feature, it was Bubba Pollard, normally known for his asphalt late model exploits, grabbing the win in the crate late model feature. Up next for late model fans, be sure to check out Saturday's Carl Chevrolet 50 live on Flow Racing and Dirt on Dirt from Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. We've talked about that earlier in the week. A lot of big name drivers on that list, big entry list, going for what could potentially be $17,000 to win if I remember correctly over there. So you can check that out on Saturday. Some of the sprint car racing that was supposed to happen this weekend now in question. Selinsgrove Speedway was getting ready to run a 410 show on Saturday without spectators. They had gotten approval, but they were informed by state officials that after originally getting that approval that they are now not allowed to open the racetrack on Saturday. They are working with officials to try and maybe turn that back around to get approval for the race, but as of right now, Saturday's Posse Unleashed event that was supposed to be live on the cushion is in serious jeopardy. We'll try to keep you updated on that on the DIRTRACKR social media channels over the next day or so here as that situation gets resolved one way or the other. NARC King of the West Series announced yesterday they have postponed the upcoming Peter Murphy Classic at Thunderbolt Speedway in Tulare, California. That was originally scheduled for May 16th. The California State Fairgrounds continue to be under a mandatory shutdown order due to COVID-19 and the governor's orders in that state. Series officials do hope to reschedule that event for later in the season. That's certainly a big one on that NARC King of the West schedule, and I know a lot of people really enjoy that event. All right, so tonight is the night for the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. 48 invited drivers will take on Knoxville Raceway live on Dirt Vision tonight for $10,000 to win. Hot laps will get underway around 7:30 p.m. Eastern. As we've mentioned, the event will be without spectators. We know some media will be there, and obviously, you know, the normal kind of course of things will happen, you know, over social media, over Dirt Vision, things like that, to keep everybody up to speed on what is going on from the Knoxville Raceway tonight. I talked yesterday on the show about working towards being able to predict winners of some of these races using the DIRTRACKR analytics. Last night I kind of finished up my first version of that formula. I ended up using kind of a combination of past race results at Knoxville, past results at tracks, you know, similar in size, who's been good lately, and then I wanted to kind of throw a little bit of randomness in there because, you know, if there's anything in racing, there's certainly randomness. And so what I did was I took that formula and then effectively, you know, and I will say this in quotes, ran the race like 100,000 times last night. That's, you know, the beauty of computers is you can do things over and over and over again very quickly. So I did that to kind of simulate possible race results. I recorded the winners of each of the races that I ran and then basically assigned a win percentage to each driver. And these predictions won't be super crazy. You know, the way things go and you know what we see in terms of the race results, this won't be a, you know, I'm not coming from left field with these predictions and things like that. So but the driver with the highest win percentage was Brad Sweet. He won about 7% of the races I ran. Donnie Schatz right behind him, about 6.8% of the races, and then David Gravel, Logan Schuchart, and Darren Pittman were all next in total win percentage. down the order. Sweetened shots there with that really close, 7 to 6.8, very, very tight there. Almost a tie there for that win percentage. So, and kind of looking at some of the other numbers, Gravel and Schuhart also close. They're a little bit further behind Sweet and Shots, and then Pittman and Aaron Reitzel kind of in that 5th and 6th spot there we're tight in their numbers as well. So I guess we're going with Brad Sweet for the win tonight. Coming into the night, he has a very small 2-point lead over Logan Schuhart in the point standings. Darren Pittman is 3rd, Donnie Schatz is 4th, and Carson Macedo is 5th. We've only had 3 race nights completed so far, the 3 race nights at Volusia before the season had to be shut down. Remember, they had that big 6-week break in between, or I think 5 or 6 weeks break in between Volusia and then when they were supposed to start racing again. So big break there, and then obviously things happened and the season was suspended. So only 3 race nights complete so far. Enjoy the racing tonight. We'll check back on Monday. We'll talk about the results. We'll talk about my predictions, and then we'll see going forward what we can do to continue making that prediction engine a little better and see what we can get out of it. So hope everybody enjoys the race tonight. If you can, watch live on Dirt Vision. They're selling single night passes, but is also a part of your Fast Pass tonight. This weekend also, as racing kind of continues to ramp up, lots of other races to check out from a lot of the other streaming providers. Tonight, besides the World of Outlaws on Dirt Vision, Speed Shift has a pair of shows, IMCA Modifieds and some different categories at Park Jefferson Speedway in South Dakota and US 36 Raceway in Missouri. Tomorrow night, Speed Shift has 3 more shows that will also include a 360 Sprint Car show from Marysville Raceway in California. Also on Saturday, Dirt on Dirt, like I mentioned before, and Flow Racing have the Super Late Model show from Peevely. And then if you want to check out some iRacing, Dirt Vision has the Dirt Car Esports event from Volusia Speedway Park. They're running effectively pro late models on Saturday, with drivers being able to register for that event through the week and then participating in kind of a cut down program through the day to get to the feature on Saturday night. That will be $300 to win. If you want to keep up with all of the pay-per-view options, you can find all of that at DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. That will be updated through the weekend with the day's offerings. And the other things that we've been able to watch too, things like USAC Thunder Relived and the USAC 24/7 on Flow Racing. All of that is continuing through the weekend as well. So still plenty of things to watch, both live and past events between the providers through the weekend. So if you're looking for a little dirt racing action in your life, there's plenty to check up with through the week. So be sure to check out Dirt Tracker and keep up with all of that through the weekend. We'll be back on Monday. We'll recap the World of Outlaws race. We'll recap the big super late model race at Peevely. We'll have all of that to talk about on Monday, and then get you prepared for the next week of action. The World of Outlaws schedule getting ready to ramp up here the next couple of weeks. And as other series and other races come online, we will certainly continue to be talking about those. And Michael Rigsby had some cryptic tweets last night about some potential races going forward, maybe on this Thursday night deal like we've had the last 2 weeks. So as we know more about that, we'll share that as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. I really appreciate everybody who takes time out of their day to listen to the show or watch the show between YouTube and Facebook. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed, and I appreciate everybody that tweets me and messages me about the shows and about the site. I certainly appreciate all of that. But you can find DIRTRACKR Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe, leave me a review. You can tell your friends. You can also watch the show daily on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirtracker.com. I check that every single day if you want to get up with me there. You can also follow along with Dirt Tracker at facebook.com/DIRTRACKR, twitter.com/DIRTRACKR, and the website itself, DIRTRACKR.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and you can sign up for the Dirt Tracker weekly newsletter live on the site. Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We will be back on Monday with a full recap of the weekend's action. Hope everybody has a good weekend. We will see you then.